In a bold and politically charged statement, Celestine Mambula Mukandila, National Youth Chairperson of the Tonse Alliance, has called for the removal of the United Party for National Development, or UPND, from power by 2026. Speaking during a press briefing in Lusaka, Mukandila expressed deep dissatisfaction with the current administration, accusing the ruling party of failing to deliver on its promises and mismanaging key sectors of national development. His remarks reflect growing frustration among opposition figures and civil society actors who believe the UPND has lost touch with the electorate and is no longer fit to govern beyond its current term. Mukandila's critique centered on what he described as the UPND's inability to address the economic challenges facing ordinary Zambians. He cited rising unemployment, inflation, and the perceived lack of tangible development projects as evidence of the party's shortcomings. According to him, the youth, who were instrumental in bringing the UPND to power, now feel betrayed and marginalized. He argued that the government's failure to create meaningful opportunities for young people has led to widespread disillusionment, and that this sentiment will likely shape the political landscape heading into the 2026 general elections. The Tonse Alliance, which Mukandila represents, has positioned itself as a reformist coalition aiming to restore accountability and transparency in governance. While the alliance has yet to formally announce its presidential candidate, its leadership has been vocal in criticizing the UPND's policies and calling for a new political direction. Mukandila emphasized that the alliance is actively engaging with grassroots communities to build a broad-based movement capable of challenging the ruling party at the ballot box. He also hinted at ongoing discussions with other opposition parties to form a united front, suggesting that strategic coalitions may play a decisive role in the upcoming elections. Mukandila's statement comes at a time when the Patriotic Front, Zambia's former ruling party, is undergoing internal restructuring. Despite facing leadership disputes and factionalism, the PF remains a significant force in Zambian politics, with a loyal support base and established party structures. Mukandila acknowledged the PF's organizational strength, noting that it could be a key player in any opposition alliance seeking to unseat the UPND. However, he also cautioned that unity and discipline would be essential if the opposition is to mount a credible challenge. Political analysts observing the Zambian scene have noted a shift in public sentiment, with increasing calls for change and accountability. The UPND, which came to power on a wave of optimism and promises of economic reform, now faces mounting pressure to deliver results. Critics argue that the party's focus on international diplomacy and debt restructuring has come at the expense of domestic priorities, leaving many citizens feeling neglected. Mukandila's remarks tap into this growing narrative, positioning the Tonse Alliance as a responsive and people-centered alternative. The youth vote is expected to be a decisive factor in the 2026 elections, and Mukandila's appeal to young Zambians underscores the strategic importance of this demographic. With over 60% of the population under the age of 35, political parties are increasingly tailoring their messages to resonate with younger voters. Mukandila's emphasis on youth empowerment, job creation, and inclusive governance reflects a broader trend in Zambian politics, where generational change is becoming a central theme. As the political climate intensifies, the UPND will need to recalibrate its strategy to retain public trust. The party has defended its record, citing progress in education, healthcare, and infrastructure development. However, opposition voices like Mukandila's suggest that these achievements are not enough to secure a second term. The coming months will be critical as parties mobilize their bases, refine their platforms, and prepare for what promises to be a highly competitive electoral contest. Mukandila's call to prevent the UPND from extending its rule beyond 2026 is more than a partisan critique. It is a reflection of the dynamic and evolving nature of Zambian democracy. Whether this momentum translates into electoral success remains to be seen, but the message is clear. The political terrain is shifting, and the battle for Zambia's future is already underway.